Hey!
Ho, ho, ho. Look at this. This is. I've been looking forward to this all bloody week, and I couldn't think of two better people to spend it with. Happy Thursday, killers.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Happy
All good?
Thursday, mate. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to everybody, yeah.
How are we doing? All right? All good?
Hyper.
Oh,
hyper.
holy shit. I was just going to say, did you just see that? Oh, holy shit.
Oh, does that mean I'm off?
Yeah.
Do I?
Yes!
It's gone. This is like anyone in the chat. This is a total shock to us. We didn't know this was
That's
going to happen.
amazing.
Merry Christmas, everybody. How are we?
Merry Christmas, the one and
How are you?
all. Santa Claus is real.
It is real. Christmas miracles.
He's had a shave. Santa's had a shave. Yeah.
I have my sack
My
with me.
letter got to Santa. I got what I wanted for Christmas.
Hey, I look wild. It goes to Christmas past. See, there we go. Merry fucking Christmas. Yes, nice one.
Indeed,
Nice
surprise.
How are we doing?
Surprise.
You know what? This could have been really awkward if we'd have been talking about him just before the show.
I know. The funny thing is, I could hear.
How are we doing? This is great. What a way to end the year. How are we all doing?
Marvellous.
That is awesome. This is completely thrown me now. But you know why Andy's come on? I've just twigged. Do you know why Andy's come on? Because he's going to win cover of the year. Because he's still beating me by one comic.
Yeah.
So even if I win tonight, we would draw.
Ooh,
That's why he's here. He's here to gloat. Despite the fact he's not part of the show anymore, he's won cover over the year.
Do you know what? I didn't actually think about that, but now that you mention it, that is a good reason to show up for the show.
I'm shocked. I'm gobsmacked. But so yes, welcome you three. Thanks for a good turnout. We got Phil in the chat. Oh, the out of office is on. The mold wine is ready. Let's start the festivities. Leon Russell, Merry Christmas, killers. Bat Dan, A up, killer duckies. That's a new one.
That's a new one.
Chris Bell, ding dong. What's this? I made it. It's a Christmas miracle. That's two Christmas miracles have happened tonight. Chris Bell made it on time, and the ghost of Christmas past appeared. There we go. Fuzzy Dunlop, Merry Christmas to the killers and all the chatters. Ho, ho, ho. Yes, indeed. Then we've got some man like Triple G. Now then. Leon Russell. Too late, Tom. I've already started gopping. Oh.
Oh, that's what I said.
I'll see the Christmas doctor about that one, mate. On who? Evening all. Good evening. And the chat goes on, and then a small little person following up behind. It's evening peeps. It's not Tiny Tim. It's Panels and a Half Pint. Evening peeps. Andy for cover of the year. There we go. So, you fucking threw me, you bastard.
Yes.
Just
You
before,
totally
before
threw
we
me.
came on, Charlie was talking about 3 tits. Now we've definitely got 3 tits on the stream.
We've got three tits and a bra strap. There we go. Right, so yeah, we might as well just get things underway as we normally do. Let's get the festivities underway with this. Now then.
I've missed that tune.
Ding dong ding. This is the killer covers for December 20th, which was yesterday, New Comic Book Day. I think every single one of us knows the drill by now. 3 people or 2 people take part while I just sit there and watch and gloat about coming second. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's not. So this is the killer covers December 20th. We've got 3 fantastic covers to end the year. Up first, Thomas.
It's me. So I've gone for the Amazing Spider-Man issue 40, but I've also gone for the 1 in 100 version of this, which is the Virgin variant cover of the J. Scott Campbell ski calendar variant. I absolutely love this. It's a standard J. Scott Campbell, so come at me, but I don't care. I love it. J. Scott Campbell's my boy, and I just think the Virgin one's really cool compared to the one that's not Virgin. So yeah, that's why I picked it. Can't
Anyone
say
else? This is, I absolutely love this. I think we featured it on.
It was one of my FOC, yeah.
Yeah, and it is awesome. It is very, very good. But I would like this as a picture. I wouldn't fucking read it.
No, to be honest, I think that's what they do. If you think about when they put J. Scott Campbell's artwork on anything, it's normally a book that's shy. Because people will then buy it.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, look at, is it Black Cat and Mary Jane? They did a series. He did all the covers for them. People only bought them for the I only bought them for the covers.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all right. It's I'm not a massive
Yeah, your opinion doesn't matter anymore.
Wow.
Filling up.
I love you, really. I'm only messing.
Do you see what I mean now, Peter? Does it make sense?
You horrendous.
Hashtag community. Sorry,
It's all right.
carry on.
It's all right. It's
I'm just glad that everything's like nothing's changed since I've been away. Like I'm still coming on the show, and Tom's picked another J. Scott Campbell cover.
Nothing's changed.
It's fantastic, and the 1 in 100 as well. Like no expense spared. Look, the difference with this one from other J. Scott Campbell covers is there's an actual background in this.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really known for taking too much time on the background of covers and stuff like that. So I think this is great. I'm not entirely sure about that pose. Yeah, I'm sure you didn't. It was the skis. It was the boots and the skis you were looking at.
Definitely the boots.
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
What does a 1 in 100 like technically go for like a J. Scott Campbell?
So for a J. Scott Campbell 1 in 100, it would depend on what it's on. Because it's a Spider-Man, they will be shitting these out like you've got diarrhea basically. But a 1 in 100 for Amazing Spider-Man is probably going to cost you 40 quid ish, 30, 40 quid.
Because it's a J. Scott Campbell, there'll probably be a J. Scott Campbell premium on that price as well, I would imagine.
Yeah, but you can get it from his website, signed, and probably for about the same sort of price.
Mm-hmm. Cool. That's not too bad. Cool, nice. I've gone for the Joker, Harley Quinn. Exactly, nothing has changed, Andy. Nothing has changed.
It's exactly the same.
Absolute deja vu.
Joker, Harley Quinn, uncovered, issue number 1, cover D.
And it's like, this is the same as last year.
Yeah.
Sorry, Charlie.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you knew, but I had like a Harley Quinn week ecstatic, so I'm still fucking riding that cloud 9. So I thought, what better way to fill it with this? So
what was it you called it? You have a penchant. Is that what you called it?
Massive penchant for Harley Quinn.
I thought that was like Seishon's sister or something like that. I wasn't too sure. It's like, what is a penchant?
Penchant.
It's like a real. I don't even know.
It's
basically
can you stop going like that?
It's
turning me
in a
on.
nutshell,
Doing it for me.
Really good. Like, it's
in the best way to describe it, Charlie's got a hard on for Harley Quinn.
Constantly.
That's a penchant.
Yeah, it's a
A
penchant.
little penchant.
Yeah, don't say penchant. It's a penchant.
He's got a little penchant.
I see this cover in Forbidden Planet yesterday, just a standard one, and with the logo over the top of it in the Joe Harley, it really doesn't do nothing. So if I was going to get this, it would be this foil variant. But again, this has been done time and time again. But I just thought, I really like this, and I think this is the only. I'm only going to be able to come close to getting this. So I thought, why not share it with you, lovely folk?
It's a beautiful cover, to be fair, and it's definitely one of Alex Ross's best pieces.
Yeah,
100%. So I'm glad that they're reshitting it out for us people who don't have the money to buy the original to be able to pick one up. And I love the fact that it's foil. I think that's going to be really smart. And like you said before, Charlie, about the paper quality with Marvel is crap. So being on a cardstock and being a foil variant, it's going to make it very, very, very nice for any collector.
The only thing with this, though, I think I can't remember if I did or not. I don't know if I bought this off of Slab Crusaders at 9.8, because I think getting a 9.8 with this black cover would be near enough and fucking possible.
Yeah.
So I can't remember. I need to speak to James about that. I'm not sure if I did or not, but it's a good cover. So
it might be easier on a foil rather than a standard black.
I'm a massive Alex Ross fan. This is one of my favourite covers that he's ever done. It's just stunning, absolutely stunning. I think it's cheating, mind, because this is a cover that's been done many a time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the fact that it's there in foil now is very, very sexy. I probably have to pick one up.
Very sexy.
Very sexy.
Very sexy.
Talking about very, very sexy. Moving on, we've gone for this one.
Come on. So that's my pick. I think I picked this a few weeks ago for Final Order Cutoff. I don't know. There's something about whether you like the comic or not, because I know I'm hearing it's dog shit. But there's something about that composition for me of Superman just staring down Godzilla. I just think it looks superb. I wish it was a Virgin cover, but yeah, I think that looks amazing, and it looks like Godzilla's about to kick his ass. So yeah.
But this ties into you, because obviously you went and see the film. I watched your review in it and stuff like that, and it's just, I can't wait to see it. I might go at the weekend to see it, but it looks fucking awesome. And this just, John Boy Mayers he's good at what he does. Like he just makes the colours pop and stuff like that. So this is a great cover. But as I said, I would like to see it as a Virgin.
Yeah,
guys, what do you think?
Is this the issue? Is this the issue that Jock's done a cover on, or is it issue 3?
Issue 3, I think. You said that cover, haven't you? Yeah. That's
what made me think of it, because I think that's a fantastic cover. I love this. John Boy Myers can't do any bad as far as I'm concerned. Looking forward to him coming on the show at some point again. So,
well, do you know what? It's
really good.
It's really good when you get a message. I got a message from him yesterday wishing me Merry Christmas, and his words were, "So, when am I coming on a show? We need to do another show." And I was like, "Okay, fair enough."
I really want to know about his Kickstarter.
He said it's snowballing at the moment, so I don't know whether he's picking up some traction and stuff like that, or he's actually doing it. But he has given us the exclusive rights. I'll say it live on the show now. He's given us the exclusive rights to be the first one to review it on a live show.
Fantastic.
So
that'd be amazing.
When that happens, that'd be wicked. So
I'll be perfectly honest. This cover, when you sent it in the chat, Peter, I didn't realise it was John Boy Mayers. I think it's not his normal kind of go-to John Boy Mayers, really extreme. I think it's really cool. Like you said, the composition's really cool. I think if anyone's going to win this week, it'll be you, mate, if I'm honest. But it's a cool cover. Yeah, it's a good nice one.
So, Tom, have you got the vote to go live?
I do. It is live now.
There we go. So you can place your votes. You can go for the old school. Something's never changed. J. Scott Campbell. Something still never changed. Harley Quinn. Charlie, Geek Art Comics picking what he does every single week. And then we've got Triple G picking the John Boy Mayers cover. Andy, out of curiosity...
Or you can vote for Andy to stay on the show forever.
What cover would you have picked this week?
From those 3?
For your actual choice.
Jeez, I have no idea. I haven't really thought about it. I'm on. This was a bit last minute, wasn't it, Peter? This idea of me coming on and giving them a little Christmas present, as it were. No, but if you do want to vote for me,
okay. So,
I see.
Listen, I had to get the link somehow. Come on, guys.
Well, it was a very, very good Christmas present. So, thank you very much for you two sneaking behind the scenes, skulking behind the scenes, and sorting that out. So, but what would your cover be?
If it's a pick between the 3 of those, I'd most likely pick the J. Scott Campbell, because I love him.
Yeah.
Wish I hadn't shared the link now.
Is it a Jock cover? Just there has to be. That's the one I would have picked. Obviously.
Yeah. But yes, the link is live now, and then we can get onto that. So as always, there we go. This is the Killer Comic Show. Week 50 review. This is the last show of the year, and these are the comics from last week. We have Batman, Gargoyle of Gotham, issue number 2, written and the art by Rafael Grampa. And then we have Space, Usagi, pile of shit.
Usagi.
Stan Sakai.
It was
Death and Honor, issue number 1. Right, I don't know who the hell was voting for this comic on the community tab on YouTube, but seriously. So
I read Space Usagi, so I managed to read it before I come on.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to
Legend.
giving a deep dive on this book.
So up first, we've got Batman, Gargoyle of Gotham, issue number 2, written by Rafael Grampa and the art by Rafael Grampa. This came out last week, December the 12th. We've got 4 covers. Main cover by Rafael Grampa, cover B by the fantastic Gabriele Dell'Otto, cover C by Raphael Grassetti, and cover D by Rafael Grampa, which is the acetate cover. Andy, did you read this?
No.
Okay, Tom, did you read this?
No. Yes, I did.
Go for it. Take it away, sir.
So this book basically comes back off the back of issue 1, where we got introduced to the character that's a little bit like a cartoon character. And Batman's fighting him on the bridge. So this literally comes straight after that and the aftermath of that. So basically he's been arrested and they're going through, interrogating him, trying to find out where all these kind of bombs and things and all these murders that have happened. And it all kind of goes into a bit more. And what I like about this book, and I think we talked about it when we read issue 1, is it's kind of gone back to the detective roots of Batman. Mm-hmm. So you kind of having to think a little bit about what's going on in the background. You're kind of having to pick bits up on the page. Like, is there anything hidden within the artwork, which is really smart? You get introduced to a brand new character. This one that's on panel 1 with the kind of scythy finger things. So she's pretty cool. And then, like, it just opens up. This whole world just opens up. And I'll be honest, I think this book only gave me more questions, didn't really answer anything. And I'm excited to read issue 3. I don't know whether I'd say it was a groundbreaking issue. I think issue 1 was amazing. Like, issue 1 really kind of hooked me in. I thought this is going to be a great story. This just continued that. I think this is going to be one of those books where you're going to want to read it as a graphic novel rather than issue by issue, because I'm chomping at the bit for the next issue, but I think it would be better to read it in one complete story rather than in bits, because I had to go back and read issue 1 because I'd forgotten a few bits that I needed to go forward with issue 2.
It's been delayed,
but I did enjoy it.
So it's been a while since issue 1, I think.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But I did enjoy it, and I loved whoever picked panel 2. That is incredible, because that was such a good bit about Batman losing control, and then the backstory on that and how that came about was quite cool. But the memories thing, I'll probably let someone else explain that. But what did you guys think?
I would say this is my favourite Batman story that I've read in a while, other than Jock's Dark Knight. I like the way that it's dark, and like Batman, he's got no rules or regulations at the moment. Like, he literally just went like the panel that I've picked in the middle. He's going like hell for leather and beating the shit out of someone that he'd normally do that, but then it kind of transcends into him that he could potentially have killed him. And it's a really, really good. I really, really like it. I think the fact that like Jim Gordon's got quite a forefront role in this, where he's literally I like Jim Gordon as a character. I think he's really, really good, and I think like the relationship he has with Batman. I really like this comic. I think number 1 went for me. I think it went under the radar for me. I kind of looked at it and thought, well, it's just another Batman, so it's going to be the same thing. And then I only kind of read it when issue 2 was on the horizon. I thought, oh, well, literally, it's getting some traction behind this, so let me give it a read. And it's wicked. The art in it is wicked. I'm not sure I like the Batman suit, but then as the story progresses, you kind of get used to it. Yeah. And you do and there's a bit in this where Batman, he really looks like the Robert Pattinson Batman.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that.
And I don't know if they kind of did that because this is kind of like the younger days of Batman and stuff. And I thought it was just a great story. And I think like the fact that like everyone knows how long it took Jock to do 3 issues of writing and doing the artwork for a comic. And this is just wicked. Like, you know how much detail's gone into it. I mean, that panel on the right-hand side, even one on the left, there's so much detail in it. And like when you kind of get engaged with the comic, when you know that the artist has done the writing as well, and you just kind of understand how much they've spent on it, how much they must have loved doing it and stuff. So this for me was really, really enjoyable, and it was like, I think it was like something like 48 pages.
Yeah, it's a big.
So it's an oversized book, which was
Chunky
good.
Monkey.
Yeah,
you know when Tinian was writing Batman and he was doing the Joker Wars thing, and he introduced literally like fucking a million new characters. So you had like Clown Hunter, Punchline, Miracle Molly, all that shit. And they all felt really forced down your neck, all these new characters. I found in this book, although he has introduced 3 brand new characters within this story, I didn't feel like it was a forced story.
No.
It kind of made sense, and everything that's going through kind of made sense about the children of Arkham. I thought that was really quite clever, the way he's done that. I also think the artwork really relates very well to the grittiness of the story. And I like that it's, like I said, I think it's really cool that it feels like a detective comic, but you're still getting the action that you would get from an action comic, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Sorry, carry on.
Pete?
So first off, the artwork, I absolutely love the art. I think I love the look of Batman. That panel I've picked on the end there just gives us Arkham City vibes with him kind of standing about to pounce down, you know. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed the artwork. I loved issue 1. I wasn't as blown away by issue 2. Still enjoyed it. I think Tom's absolutely right. This for me is a book that I probably want to read in one sitting. So I follow the full narrative, because I had to read this twice because I was a bit confused with who was who, and you know, it introduces a couple of new characters. It took a left field swing for me. I thought we were dealing with a pretty normal kind of murder and detective story, and then all of a sudden we've got some moth bloke with things flying around him and long nails and stuff, and it just kind of I don't know, it wasn't what I was expecting going into it. Not that that's a bad thing. It just it didn't feel it felt quite different to issue 1 to me in some regards. But I still thoroughly enjoyed it. Loved the art style. I'll definitely be picking up the next issue. And it's got us intrigued. So yeah, I am enjoying it. I love the addition to Batman's origin, where he after he sees his parents killed, he hunts down that night the person that he thinks has done it and is dragged away by the cops because he makes him a paraplegic, I think, doesn't he?
Yes. Do we actually believe that's actually the guy who did it though, or do we think again, it's a
talking artwork? When you see the guy, so Andy, if you've not read it, it's like 20, 30 years later, he goes to see this guy, and they've told him that it wasn't the guy who shot his parents. It was just a hobo in the street that he lost his fury on. There's an interesting link saying that he then sees a psychologist, and they're trying to underpin whether Batman was because of the psychologist, if something was planted in him to become Batman, which is quite interesting. But anyway, he goes to see this guy who's now a paraplegic. And
quadriplegic.
Quadriplegic, sorry. He says, yeah, actually, I did kill your parents. But the art style, he had a very angled nose. And as soon as I saw him, I thought, is that meant to be the Penguin? Because he's got the facial features of Oswald Cobblepot. So I didn't know if that was going to link in somehow or something.
Did any of you ever read? I think it was released in like 2020 or 2021. It was written by Frank Miller. It's the Batman Returns Golden Child one.
No,
I think
Jason Campbell did a cover for that though.
Yeah, and Rafael Grampa did the artwork for that. And again, there were subtle things in the artwork. I didn't really like the story of it, but there were subtle artistic elements in it that you was like, is that meant to be Catwoman? Is that meant to be Two-Face? But Rafa, he's done a few Batman books, and he's very good. And this is, as I said, like I follow Batman. Like, I'm massively into Batman. I've had a Batman and Harley Quinn week because I've downloaded like the Batman game for the Nintendo Switch. So I'm playing on that as well. So reading this as well. But it's a really enjoyable Batman comic. And you go back, Tom, to talking about like when James Tynion was writing like Batman and stuff. The lead up to the Joker War was 10 times better, a million times better, in fact, than the actual outcome of the Joker War. Like you get a plethora of all these characters, like as you mentioned. Yeah, I get that word wrong every time. So I'm trying to say
big words there was good.
Tom Chance plethora. Fucking hell.
That's my stage name.
I didn't realise we were getting so sophisticated in this program.
There we go. That's a massive word for you.
I can't even spell it. I can't even spell it. I-E-T.
C-I-T.
Yeah.
How many issues is this? Is this an ongoing series or is it like a mini series?
I want to say
mini series of 5
issues. Yeah.
Okay. Because I haven't read any of it, but just looking at or listening to what you guys have said and looking at the pages, and you know me, I sort of try and look a little bit deeper into some of these pages to see if there's any sort of subliminal messaging. And I just noticed all the triangles in the pages. So you've got on the left hand, you've got a triangle. On the right hand side, you've got a triangle in the clock, and I thought it was something to do with like the Illuminati or something like that.
So
very similar.
Good call, because there is something that links to that in the end of the issue. Yeah.
There we go.
Andy's back for one show. He's dropping bombs already.
You never lose it, boys. You never lose it.
The Oracle has spoken.
See you later. It's been great. Who invited him back, for fuck's sake? He's just dropping bombs just.
What's going on? I have no idea. Oh, this feels better.
There we go. But honestly, I think if you haven't read this, I've just dropped the link for the trailer that Rafael Grampa put out a few weeks ago on YouTube. It's not what you're thinking. It's actually really good. You can kind of see him sketching and stuff like that. You see him, but it's a really good trailer. But yeah, it's a really, really good Batman comic. Like it is very, very enjoyable. So we go from this. Fuck me, seriously. Right. So we go from this. We go to Space Usagi. Yeah, Space Usagi. There we go. Death and Honor issue.
Usagi.
Death and Honor issue number 1. Main cover by Sweeney Boo. Cover B by Agnes Garbowska variant. And we've got cover C, which is 1 in 10, Jennifer L. Mayer. And then we got the LCSD 2023 Jennifer L. Mayer sketch variant cover. This is by Dark Horse Comic. I'm just going to go out and say it now. I've got to page 5 and thought to myself, what the hell am I doing with my life? Reading a story about a white rabbit called Usagi at 2 o'clock in the morning. Then I decided to stop, reevaluate my life and go to sleep. That's how far I've got with this comic. If anyone wants to give a review on this, I will now click on the button, get to the pages, and you can crack on.
Right. Okay. So I'll stop. Right?
Oh, you're going in.
I'm going in deep. So that's what she said. Yeah. So I was talking to Comic Deal about this on Monday, James. Now I hadn't appreciated. I think this is an older comic that's just been coloured and then brought back out. So this is from the 80s, I think. This was even though I've bought an omnibus on people's recommendations and I've not read it yet. This was my first Usagi Jimbo comic, and it's rabbit shit, isn't it? It's just it was just the storyline was I can't even. It was just shit. It did nothing for us. So Andy, this is the kind of concise feedback I gave. Just shit.
Rabbit shit.
Rabbit shit. The art style does nothing for me, I have to say. No. I mean, look at that dog thing with the beard. What the shit is going on there?
Tom.
That's Tom. It was a really simple story. Basically, 2 warring races. The big boss guy asks Usagi to look after his son or something. And then there's a bit of shenanigans. And there's a cat who's a ninja and is invisible. I didn't know what was happening there. And then the big boss guy kills himself. He just, he commits. What do you call it when the samurais kill themselves?
That's an actual better synopsis.
Kamikaze.
He's like a kamikaze thing.
Kamikaze.
Yeah. But he's shit. He's shit as well, isn't he? So he's meant to be the big boss. You have this big kind of showdown, right? I'm going to fight the bad guy. It's literally one panel where they kind of brush each other's sides and he dies.
Pete, that is a better synopsis than what's on League of Comic Book Geeks.
But you know what? I've paid £40 for a friggin' omnibus of this shit that I haven't read yet.
Why would you do that?
Because people told us it was good. Now I'm all for a kind of childish kind of comic.
People also say the world's flat. People also say the world's flat.
Yeah, it is. I don't know what you're talking about. But I quite like animal. I'm loving.
Yes.
Some of the what you call it. What we do beneath the trees, or whatever it is. Can't remember what the title is.
Beneath the trees.
Yeah.
What are you doing beneath the trees, Peter?
I'm just checking in on Von Hook.
Burying the rabbit shit. That's what I'm doing.
Von Hook's being sick at the moment. He's being sick at the moment. He's just here.
No, that's the samurai thing. It's called.
Is that the samurai thing?
Yeah. What is it? And what's a harikari? Isn't that a dance?
No, I don't know. A harikari. I don't know.
Right, Tom. Go on, Pete.
I'm spent. I'm spent. I can't muster any more words other than shit.
Tom,
I don't know how I can follow that.
Positive vibes.
Well, I don't really know how to follow that, but seeing as it is an old comic that has been recolored, I think we have to give it its age. And when it would have came out originally, it would have been all right. It would have been a good. I mean, if you go back and read any of the original Marvel comics,
when would this have ever been all right?
Well, if you go back and read the original comic books, like original Marvel comics and Superman and X-Men comics, they're shite. Mm-hmm. And they're very racist and very tongue-in-cheek. At its time, this was probably really, really good. And it probably, I mean, to be fair, Usagi Yojimbo is quite a good comic on its own. The space version, I think, is taking it a little bit too far.
Does this have any relation to Usagi Yojimbo, where is there a transcendence from the actual running of the comic to where he goes to space?
No, not really, mate. No. So the only similarities are the fact that it's Usagi Yojimbo who's the samurai, and he's a samurai rabbit. That's literally the only kind of similar thing. It's just it's set in space, which I don't really understand. I did enjoy elements of this. I thought it was very childish in places, which is kind of what you would want for a comic book. But as a comic you want to review for a comic book show, yeah, I'd agree. It's shit.
Do you know what it reminded me of? Just with you saying that about a comic for a kid. Back when I was at junior school, we used to get Asterix and Obelix comics. Do you remember them?
Oh, they were ace.
Yeah.
The greatest comics ever.
It's that kind of storytelling and artwork that engaged us probably when I was 8 or 9. Not that I'm, saying Comic Deal James has got them, but it's probably just too young for me this now, I think. Anyway.
Well, to be fair though, Peter, I mean, this probably did come out when you were a youngster.
How dare you?
The space race.
Have any of you read Usagi Yojimbo?
I've read a couple. Yes.
Like I've wanted to read it, but I don't think this was a really good starting point.
No,
really don't.
So I quickly read this just before,
Yes.
and I was like, wait a minute, I'm having deja vu. I'm sure I've read this before. And yes, it's obviously a rehash of the original. I found the way I would sum it up is it's Wind in the Willows meets Star Wars. You've got your kind of a like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you've got the Padawan and things like that. And even obviously the space element of it as well. I just thought it was very like predictable. Like, and obviously having read it before, I knew why it was predictable, but it was exceedingly predictable. The artwork it's like I felt as if I was obliged to like the artwork because it was Stan Sakai. And I think it's okay as a comic fan to go, well, do you know what? I actually don't really rate it that much. I would rather sit and read something else. But yeah, this was hard work. This was hard work.
There we go. Look, Fuzzy Dunlop's just said every Usagi book I've read has felt like the same issue, just with the panels in different order. Doesn't do much for me, sadly.
Yeah.
But it's got a massive following. It's got a massive following.
It's huge. Yeah. He's a massive guy, to be fair. The follower that follows this book, he is huge. He's big. Big
I think the idea of a samurai rabbit is probably cooler than the words that are actually on the page. To be honest with you,
I think Charlie's probably right. I think this probably wasn't the good introduction to the character.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Probably better off picking up a more modern story and just hoping that it's I don't think, but
I think it's just very of its time, isn't it?
Style, yeah, the art style doesn't change, does it? It's
no, it's always the same writer and artist.
See, I think I'm going to have an issue with that because I don't know what it is about the art. It's just not my.
Well, you've just bought a compendium of it, Pete. So you better fucking start liking it.
I can use it as toilet paper. No, I don't know.
Jeez, yeah, I just don't. I don't.
And he's not a samurai.
Exactly.
But I wish he would commit seppuku.
Wow.
Isn't that a board game? Sudoku. Is it Sudoku?
Yeah, Sudoku. Yeah.
But I was like, oh, okay, so this is it. So I was like, right, okay, I'm going to go out of my comfort zone. I'm going to read it. I got 5 pages in and was like, what the fuck? What is going on?
But the other 5 pages that you didn't read were pretty good.
Were they?
The content page.
Shush, I wanted to read the rest of the book.
Really? Were they? But the thing
they
is,
were amazing. Best
I
comic
tried
pages
to
I've ever
read
read.
it. I tried to read it 3 or 4 times and it just didn't
Better
work.
than do a powerbomb.
No.
Wow.
Wow. On that note, goodbye. No, but yeah, James is probably in a corner somewhere saying, "Oh my god, I can't believe you're on the naughty list and stuff." But yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know this was a rerun of like an old comic. But yeah, I wouldn't have read it then, and I'm definitely not going to read it now.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to James, when we were chatting on Monday, he did say that he didn't think this was a good starting point because I think it's 20 years old or something, 20, 30 years old, this book.
Yeah. Okay, that's older than me.
And nothing's been updated from it, just the colours.
I don't know, mate.
Okay.
Just the colours, I think.
And is this? I think there's like 3 issues to this, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's not read anymore. Let's say.
Put them in the vote. We'll let the public decide.
Yeah, let's definitely not get onto that. So that's the comics done. We did a nice Batman one, and then we went on to Usagi pile of shit. Now we are going on to the Killer Indie Picks, December 27th. There we go. Up first. Go on, Peter.
Look at that, man. So this is the continuation of the Energon universe, following on directly out of Transformers. Duke made his appearance in, was it issue 2, I think, or issue 3? Issue 2, I think it was, when he ejected from an aircraft. And this is just continuing the story. That's obviously Starscream in the background there, I believe, flying past. There's some great variant covers for that. Me and Tom have had a bit of a chat previously about where we think this is all leading to and stuff. And I'm hoping that it's going to introduce some other properties, toy line properties, that we think the G.I. Joe team are going to have to kind of equip themselves with, shall we say, to be able to face off against the Transformers.
Yeah,
I'm
we
just
discussed it a couple of times, haven't we?
Yeah. I'm just loving this universe. I'm just. I was saying the other day to someone, what a great time to be an 80s nostalgia geek.
Yeah.
We've got Transformers, G.I. Joe / Action Force back, Thundercats coming in January, and we've got it at the moment. There's a Dungeons and Dragons from the old cartoon series. Yeah. There's a series out about that. You know, it's like my
Thundercats as well. Not Thundercats, SWAT sorry.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of great stuff coming out at the moment. So yeah, it's just I'm looking forward to getting into it. Should be good.
And the thing is about this, Jordi Belair is doing the colouring, so this is going to be amazing. Yeah. It's gonna be wicked. But
Josh Hutcherson is a great writer.
The fact that Jordi's doing the colours was what actually piqued my interest in this.
Yeah.
I've got a few of the blank covers on pre-order. I'd highly recommend to get those because they seem to be the ones that sell out really quickly because everybody's taking them to conventions to get.
Yeah.
I picked up a couple of the Thundercat blank covers just in case because I knew they would go quick.
Yeah, Thundercats is by Dynamite, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Dynamite's different. Yeah.
Looking forward to that one. Pete, I know you like this as well.
Lush.
See, I've been reading this and I'm loving it. Like you got two hard hitter horrors there. You got James Tynion and you got Martin Simmons. And
I just
again,
think the artwork.
It's wicked. It really, really is good. And obviously, like issue number 1 was wicked. Issue number 2 was even better. And issue number 3, like this, we're kind of getting into the entities of like werewolves and now vampires and stuff. And again, it's Skybound. Like obviously, Skybound is kind of like the sister brand, as it were, to Image Comics. But the majority of the time this year, they kind of put out better stuff than Image Comics, which is hard sometimes. But they managed to do it. But I know you like this book, Pete, don't you?
I absolutely love this. I mean, I'm big into my my monsters and stuff anyway. But James Tynion, I think, is a superb writer, and Martin Simmons. I didn't particularly get behind the Department of Truth. It was too complicated for us. I was expecting a kind of an X-Files book, but it just made me head hurt. But the art style was lovely. The art in this is just perfect, absolutely perfect.
Is this a new spin on Dracula?
It's a retelling of Bram Stoker's Dracula, but with some slight changes to it.
Issue 1 was great.
Yeah, issue 1's stunning. If you're familiar with Bram Stoker's Dracula, you'll know the story, but there's a few little kind of modern twists and stuff to it. And the exciting thing is it's the first kind of salvo in the monster universe. Yeah. So we're going to get a whole interconnecting universe hopefully with this lot. So yeah, excited about this.
And have you been reading this, Tom?
Oh, we read the first one, didn't we? We read the first one for the show.
Yeah.
I haven't. I've not been reading a huge amount. The only comic I think I've read since the last time I was on the show was Transformers 1, 2, and 3, which I really enjoyed.
Yes, Andy. Yes, Andy.
But I know that Tim from Hobgoblin really highly rates this book. The connecting covers for issue 1 and 2 I thought were spectacular as well.
Yeah.
And just as you mentioned, Peter, about them introducing other monsters and doing their sort of backstory, I think it will get really cool when that whole monster universe starts. You've got 2 monsters, 3 monsters working together or fighting each other. That's when I think it will start to get really interesting.
I'm hoping that Frankenstein kind of makes his way into this because there's got to be some way to do that. I mean, like you got the one of the wolves out of Twilight. He's in there. He's cracking on. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Then we've got Tom. You're a big reader of this. Like you picked issue number 1. Have you read it?
No, I have not. I need to read issue 1.
I've read issue 1.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different. It's different.
It was a bit odd. I mean, I did enjoy it. Again, don't get us wrong, and I will be continuing to read it. It was just a bit weird. I mean, I didn't get the whole Greenpeace bit where he just upped and left and was living on a boat for 30 years or something. And it was, But yeah, I did enjoy it.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I mean, for a single issue comic, like to have 3 writers on it and 2 artists on it, I don't think you need that. I mean,
it's a lot of too many chiefs, not an opinion.
It is for a trade paperback. Yeah, you can kind of do it, or if you're doing like an annual where you've got 4 or 5 different stories in it. We're 2 issues in, and there's a team of 5 working on it. I don't think you need that. Issue number 1, you could kind of see. I think it was on. I don't know, page like 16 or 17, you could see the drastic change in the artwork and the colouring because obviously they'd switched over. But the story, like Rick Remender's a really good writer, but then you could see where it switched over to Joe Troman, and then it switched over to Andy Samberg as well. But I just don't think you need it. They should have just done one issue each, like Al Ewing did and Ram V did on the Hulk and Venom and stuff. But I just don't get it. I mean, for a single issue comic, this ain't even like massive. Issue number 1 was good. Like it was good on FOC, but I just don't know.
I will keep reading because it's got my interest. Yeah,
I might. Well, I've got it on my download list to read, so I might read it at some point.
Good evening, Phil. Ho ho. Oh, yeah, he's coming to the wrong chat, isn't he? There we go. I thought it was dark humour. I loved issue number 1. There we go, issue number 1. So, is this something you'd read, Andy? Do you reckon?
I definitely. Fuzzy seems to think it's good, and he's got impeccable taste. So yeah, I'll definitely give it a go.
There we go. Book of Butcher. Tom, I believe you picked this one, sir.
I did, mate. So it's the only single issue that Tinian and Del Weather have done this year. And it's coming into the 5th year of Something is Killing the Children as an ongoing series. This is the second big kind of book. I mean, we had the House of Slaughter last year or the year before that. This is the next one on from that. And this is just following the kind of path that Maxine Slaughter's going on after joining the House of Slaughter and going from a white mask to a black mask. And this is her journey. It's kind of her story. And she's about to uncover all the shit that's gone on in the House of Butcher, which we kind of were alluded to in the House of Slaughter, which is where I can't remember the name of the character, but the guy who loses his hand, who falls in love with the other guy who gets killed in Something's Killing the Children, and he's on like a vengeance kind of kick. So this is going into that, a bit more deeper into that. I'm guessing at some point all the books are going to cross over and we're going to have this massive punch up with the House of Butcher, House of Slaughter, and this the dragon, as it were. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to this. I love these one bits, and this is I think it's 64 pages. This book. It's going to be a big old chunky book.
This is a world that I would love to see. So you know you've got
as a TV show.
Yes, and you know you got the Ergon universe with like you've got like Transformers and Duke and stuff like that. Ergon, whatever. Energon, whatever. Ergon, Energon.
The Ergon universe.
But what I'm saying is that this is like a kind of a world that could open up. Like you got the Book of Butcher, you got the Book of Slaughter,
the Slaughterverse.
It'd be wicked. Like I think this is something that you could really get into. And like, this for me just reminds me. I don't know why I watched the film last night. It's the new one on Netflix. Let End of the
Oblivion.
World. No, let the world die or something like that. With
what's the name? Is it
Leave the World Behind? Leave the World Behind.
Yes,
watch that.
Yeah.
And it was
Julia Roberts in that.
Yeah. Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke. This kind of, I don't know why, this kind of gives off that type of vibes, because I think if the world was to end, we would get cults like this. We would get cults like the Masonries and stuff like that would take off. And I'm really massively into that. So I think this is going to keep going, because obviously there's more houses than just the Slaughter and the Butcher.
Yes, yeah.
I'm well behind on all of this because I've only read in trade paper. Well, I read the hardback, so I must be a good year or two behind in the stories.
Definitely, mate. I don't think I've read one since they introduced the new girlie with the very strange coloured hair.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Is it the Pat Butcher? Is it the Pat Butcher story? Andy's asking.
It is Pat Butcher.
That's the first thing. Get out my ass. That was the first thing that came to my mind. I think I tapped out with Something's Killing the Children about issue 15, and haven't looked back since. And yeah, there just seems too much now. It's got a little bit X-Men to me.
Don't talk to me about X-Men.
Pete, you said you read it. Frank was in it. He was also in Peggy as well at the same time.
He was.
Boom,
boom.
Here we go. I think this is the line of the show. Pat, you pilchard. There we go. So there we go. That's Book of Slaughter, Book of Butcher, and then I've gone for Sirens of the City, issue number 6, written by Joanne Starr, art by Kerry Randolph. This has been great. Andy, you picked this, I think, yonks ago.
It's still going.
It's still going.
And I'll tell you what, it's a really, really good book. I'm really enjoying it. Really, really enjoying it. So I'm looking forward to this.
You know what I like about Sirens of the City? If anyone hasn't read it, it doesn't draw your attention to the fact that they're mythological creatures. It's very much a book about, you know, people just living their lives, but they happen to be mythological creatures. And it's just really strange. If you read the first issue, it doesn't touch on it at all. And then suddenly you kind of dropped in this world and you're like, hold on a minute. And you have to go back a little bit, and then you realize that they're talking about the sirens. Her name isn't Siren, she's actually a siren. It's really, really clever book. I really like it. As
the thing is, even the synopsis for issue number 1 doesn't allude to that at all. It doesn't tell you anything about that. So I was reading issue 1 and I was like, all right, fair enough. Then issue 2, you kind of, as you said, you kind of jump in and you're like, fuck me, this has totally come from left field. And then it piqued my interest again, and I'm loving it. Issue number 6 is wicked, and this has gone under the radar. Like, Boom Studios haven't really put out that much that's been like, wow. But this is great. It's a really, really good story. I'm kind of enjoying it. Andy,
it's good.
Pete, you reading this or?
Issue 1, top 2.
Yeah, I'm
really?
Yeah, I read issue 1, part of issue 2. And then I can't remember why, but I've just not gone back to it.
But you ordered a compendium of Usagi, your shitbag.
Yeah.
I suppose with Sirens of the City, it is a good book, but there are quite a lot of other good books out there, so it could get lost in the ether, if you like.
Yeah, something is killing the EastEnders. Here we go. Speaking of mythological creatures, anyone watching Percy Jackman?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet, mate. Not yet, mate.
No,
it's got good reviews.
Andy, could you please read this comment out?
Yeah, we haven't had this in a while.
Oh, sure, yeah. So issue 1 had a lovely Jenny Frisson cover and a crap Scotty Young cover.
Sorry, can you just say that name one more time? Not the Scotty Young one, the other one.
I was going to say Scotty Young.
There we go.
You okay, Charlie?
Yeah, I'm just you said a name. You said a name.
It just gives me goosebumps.
It does. So then we've got Sirens of the City, issue number 6. Then we've also got Gangster Arse Barista. Love my coffee.
Issue 2? Issue 1 came out at the start of the year.
No, I got it wrong.
Issue 3?
It's issue 3.
Yeah.
But still, issue 1 came out at the start of the year.
Yes, yeah. And issue 2 was meant to come out in March, and it only came out in August. And now they're kind of struggling to get this out. It's been good. I've enjoyed it. I like my coffee. I like my comics. Not much to say on that. Black Mask are a really underrated comic publisher. They do some really good stuff. They are a true indie thing, and I think they deserve to be shouted about when you can.
I just realised that Black Mask's logo, the mask is a bee on its side.
Mm-hmm.
Have you never noticed that before?
Just noticed that, guys.
I've just now I'm looking at that. I'm like, fuck's sake!
I can't unsee it now. That's the thing.
God, bloody hell, guys, get with the times. Jesus.
I think that was it. Let me just check. I think that was actually it. Yes, it was. So we're going into a new section for the end of the year section. This is what we're going to. The Killer Comic Show, and the winners are. There we go. It's as we've mentioned, this is potentially the last show of the year. It depends if we get itchy feet and think, oh fuck, we've had enough of Christmas, we've had enough of the family. I want to spend some time with people on the screen and people in the chat.
So there's a show next week. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
This is the last show of the year. We're building tension. Gosh. Right. So the winners are. So we've kind of picked. What have we picked on? Because you kind of put the list together.
So I thought we would basically pick our favourite writer, favourite artist, favourite series, and book of the year. I thought that was the best way of doing it. That way we can spotlight a few different things. We can kind of discuss each and every one. And then obviously we'll find out who's won cover of the year.
And also we picked anticipated cover for 2024.
Yes. Anticipated book for 2024. Sorry, I forgot about that one.
So there are a few crossovers here, but that's because we've all got impeccable taste. So up first, we've gone for Writer of the Year, Mr. Mark Millar, which was myself and Tom's choice. Tom, you kind of beat me to the punch on this, so would you like to take this away?
Of course. So I picked Mark Millar as my Writer of the Year, just because, not necessarily because all his work's been amazing. I mean, Ambassadors was not great, but it was good. I just think the amount of decent comics he's written this year compared to what other people have written and what other comics have come out this year makes him my Writer of the Year. I mean, Big Game was quality. Nemesis Reloaded was incredible. Night Order, which I've just started reading thanks to you, Peter, which is really, really good. Nightclub was pretty good. I just think overall what he's he's kind of put out there this year was pretty phenomenal. I mean, I could have put James Tynion in there, but a few of James Tynion's works missed the mark for me. And the same with like who else was I thinking about putting in there? I was gonna do I've forgotten now, but it was come back to me. But I just thought Mark Millar's work just hit the spot each time. Every book he put out there was good, and it was good quality. Apart from the Ambassadors, because I just think the Ambassadors was just basically a prequel to Big Game, and they were just there for cannon fodder, which was very apparent. But yeah, I just think he's my writer of the year. So yeah, what do you guys think?
I just think he's been amazing. Like some of the stuff he's put out. Like for me, Ambassadors, didn't really enjoy that. Magic Order I absolutely loved. Obviously that came out in 2022 and it's continued to 2023. Nightclub was the same. Miller World Origins is like a compendium that he's kind of put together, which comes out, I think it came out in November. So that's been good. Off the back of Big Game, I ordered Nemesis Reloaded, who is my favourite character, fucking bar none. He's absolutely insane. But I just think this guy is a machine. Like I think Von Hu or someone in the chat said that James Tynion is a machine. He keeps putting out. I think it was Efron that said James Tynion keeps putting out content. But Mark Millar doesn't stop. Yeah. Like he literally doesn't stop. And he's got Miller World or Miller Universe or whatever it is, and he's putting out content for comic books, for trade paperbacks, for TV shows as well. But he's been fantastic, and he's absolutely fucking savage on Twitter as well. Yeah. Absolutely savage on Twitter. So I think Andy, we tried to get him on the show, didn't he? And he was very polite of you and said, "Look, I'd love to come on, but I'm absolutely busy." And when you look at it, you think, "Yeah, right, mate, you're really busy." He's actually one genuine guy that I think, yeah, you are busy. You really are busy.
He did say to like touch base in 2024, so that's definitely something you guys should do.
But he's just been amazing. For me, Big Game was wicked. Like if you're going to do a crossover event, like Image Comics tried to do that, and it didn't really work. But for me, Big Game did it. And I know, Tom, you're frowning there and stuff like that. But I was
going to say Big Game was awesome. I don't disagree with you. It was fucking great. I just wish the time skip thing didn't happen, because that just completely like retconned the whole thing, which is really annoying. But as a series that made me want to go and read Nightclub, Magic Order, and Nemesis, it did its job.
Yeah, 100%. It was great. Who would you guys, Andy? Who would you have picked for Writer of the Year?
Probably Warren Johnson. I'd say some of the stuff that he's.
See, I was going to do DWJ, but he hasn't done anything other than Transformers this year. So he's only done one book. So not to give any spoilers, but just wait.
Did he do a Powerbomb? Did that start in 2022?
2022.
Yeah. It finished in 2023. But
does that count?
Actually, no, it finished end of 2023 because that was my pick. My last year's book of the year was.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay.
So me and Tom went for Mr. Mark Millar. I think it's a pretty decent choice. James Tynion for me was up there as well. Like having looked at what he's done so far and how he's worked and what he's been ploughing out. But we went for Mr. Mark Millar. Then Triple G.
Yeah. So
curveball.
Jason Aaron, I think, has just absolutely knocked it out of the park this year for me in particular. Punisher was just one of the best written things I've read in a long time.
Yeah.
Best book Marvel's got out.
Absolutely. So yeah, this was a real hard one for me. I loved Mark Millar's stuff as well this year, and also, and again, we're going to touch on it in a bit, but Simon Krasinski, I think in terms of normal superhero-y type stories, these guys were superb. But in terms of writing that made us really think and digest the words and made us feel, because there's some quite emotional punches in his work, it would have been him. But I can't get over the fact for me that Jason Aaron brought us back to Marvel. I drifted completely away from Marvel, went into indie. I checked out Punisher out of pure nosiness about this change to the skull chest kind of thing. And he just sucked us straight in with his storyline. So yeah, Jason Aaron, I think he's a master right now.
And do you know what? I think like the fact that he's now on like Batman Off-World, which is on issue 2 now, and then next year he's doing Action Comics. I think his first one is 1061, which is like Superman. There's some massive hype between like over that. He was talking about a thought bubble. He was saying like, what better way to start like the end 2023 and start 2024 by writing two of the big power players like Batman and Superman as well. So I'm fucking great choice. Like Punisher was fantastic, and off the back of your recommendation, I went back and read it, and now I'm addicted to like reading it. But yeah, Jason Aaron, wicked. And you didn't get to see his talk at Thought Bubble, did you?
No, I missed the panel. Unfortunately.
It was awesome. Yeah. Really, really good. Really,
he seems
really
like a really chap as well, to be fair.
Yeah. He gave a wicked interview. He really, really did give an interview, and I think he's really down to earth. He was just saying, like, if you were to come into my house, as you walk in, there's like a 7'4" Thor as you walk in the door, and then I've got comic books. And I think one of the stories that he said was he was reading his comic and he was going through his comic, his long box, and he was like, I'm missing issues 15 to 35, and he couldn't find them anywhere. And then he was like, oh, I wrote them, and they're in another box. Yeah. Which, you know what I mean? As you like accidentally think, oh, I forgot I wrote them comics. But right, that's a good choice. Good choice, Pete.
Very good choice.
Artist of the year, we just literally touched on it. Simon Kudranski. Again, Pete and Tom, you've both gone for this.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's just phenomenal, and I think he's gone from strength to strength this year. I haven't finished reading Something Epic because I think we spoke about it. It touched a little bit too close to home for me.
Yeah.
But I want to read it. But we did do Blood Commandment, which was incredible. And the artwork really drew me in. And then I had to look at other stuff that he'd done. I didn't realize he'd done Spawn. He's done some Spider-Man. He's an absolutely incredible artist. And I just think this year, for somebody that's come out of the blue for me, I think he's just gone from strength to strength. And and also he's a writer. So we could have picked him for best writer as well. I mean, his art, as far as I know, and what I've heard good things about Something Epic, it's probably one of the best books of the year. But I've only read Blood Commandment, and I can only go off that, and I thought that was incredible. And so I think he's a great artist and a good writer, so that's why I picked him.
I just think his style is just phenomenal. Much like you, Tom, I've never heard of his work before Something Epic. And I think for me, what blew us away was the mix of styles on every page. So you've got really kind of weird looking cartoon ducks and characters next to just absolute almost like paintings of more familiar characters, and then you've got an animation character stood next to that. It's just I just love it. I absolutely love it.
He's put some he's got his own company called One Man Art, and he is just like fantastic. And I know a lot of people for Something Epic couldn't quite get into the art inside it. They was like, it's too realistic for me. I'm looking at it, and some of the covers were fantastic, but Blood Commandment is unreal. And even A Town Called Terror, if you like your horror comics, like they're all quite dark and disturbing. Like, and Something Epic, Tom, obviously you mentioned to the fact that you kind of got through it and then you stopped reading it. Something Epic for me is I think what every child goes through, they create this like mythical world. Like you see it in Stranger Things, they create this Dungeons and Dragons world that came to life, and they felt safe in it and stuff like that. But with Something Epic, in issues number 1 and 2, it kind of tells a story, and then 3 and 4, you kind of think, fuck, like this is really gone down a dark alley. But because he's writing it and doing the art as well, he knows where the finish line is, and he knows exactly how he's going to get there. He knows what turnings he's going to take to get there. He knows how he's going to get the reader involved in it and stuff like that. And I just thought it's fantastic, and I can see it happening with Blood Commandment as well.
It's that kind of kind of concept you were just saying, Charlie, about in the first 2 issues that I read, that fantasy world that we kind of as kids do. And it's kind of why the reason we all read comic books, isn't it? Is to get away from real life and kind of immerse yourself in something incredible. So to read about somebody doing it as a thing, like that's their special ability, is they can see things around them, was just insane. It was incredible.
I'd love to interview him. I guess one of the other things I would say is he's an incredibly responsive guy on Instagram.
Massively.
But I'd love to interview him because he writes with such emotion and such passion about some really strong subjects that you kind of think this guy must have some backstory to be able, because he emotes emotion from me just when I'm reading it, you know? You wonder what's going on.
Where does all that come from? You know, that would be a story in itself, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, great choice there. I went for Damp
Of course.
Of course.
Could have called that.
Uncle Dan.
Uncle Dan. There we go, Uncle Dan.
Dan the man.
I'm name dropping it. I talk to him on a regular. I'm not even going to lie. Right. But he is
my best man. My friend Dan.
He is. Yeah, he is. He's
Friends.
But he's done some good stuff this year. Obviously, we'll get onto like what the series is of the year. But he's done Canary, which again was on Comixology, and I think Dark Horse Comics have the rights. Friends, you even put the W in there.
Yes. Friends.
Comic friends.
He's done some good stuff, but do you know what massively is great? That if you follow him over on Twitter, he just does these two blackbirds, like crows and stuff, and it's just the art. Like when he was on the show, we was like, "How long does it take to do that?" And he goes, "Oh, I'll have my morning coffee and I'll just sketch." Like it's stuff like that he just does, and it's so interactive, so engaging. He's got some fantastic stuff out. I mean, Black Tape, Savage Red Sonja, and Canary, which he's done with Scott Snyder, has been a really, really good read. Again, that's come from Comixology, and then I think Dark Horse Comics have the rights that everything that comes off Comixology they kind of take. Obviously, with distillery and stuff like that, there's probably a difference in opinion there. But I think Dark Horse Comics take that away. But some of the stuff he's done, like we'll get into it because I've picked the series of the year, which I think you probably all know what I've picked. But he's done some really, really good stuff. Fantastic stuff.
I didn't realise Black Tape was his. I read that. It's really good. Yeah,
it's good.
Wicked. It's awesome.
The Savage Red Sonja has got such hype for next year because he's not only is he doing the artwork, he's doing the writing on it as well, and he's got such a massive following for it. Because Red Sonja is not on my radar, but it is now, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Andy, who would you pick for arts of the year?
Scott Young. I think not only his covers, but somebody has sort of published stuff and his writing as well. I think to a certain extent it could be argued that he's carried Marvel Comics on
100%.
his shoulders.
Not even argued, mate. I'd agree.
And potentially the whole comic business, if it wasn't for Scotty Young, because I know that certainly I'm guilty of buying at least one copy of random comics that he's done a cover for. So for me, it was Scotty Young.
Do you think he knows that as well? Like, do you honestly think, like, so obviously we've picked our favourite artists and stuff, but do you think these artists and writers look back and think, I carried you this year? Like, I literally...
Well, maybe some of them, some of the more arrogant ones, but I very much doubt the ones we've picked would be like that. I very much Dan Panasian thinks that he's an amazing writer, even though he is one, or an amazing artist. Same as Krajansky, and if you look at Jason Aaron, he's carried Marvel or Thor for Marvel for a long time. For years, I bet he hasn't even got any idea how. Well, I suppose he thinks he's good, but he probably doesn't realize the fact that he forgot that he'd written them shows how humble he is.
I'd say there's very few artists and writers that think that way. From the people that we've spoke to, I'd say the word would be grateful. I think a lot of them are just grateful that they get to do what they do. And that they get a paycheck at the end of the day. Because all these people are just expressing their skills, whether it be writing or drawing. I think there's very few that think, oh well, I'm the guy that's carrying this. I don't even think the likes of James Tynion would think that.
There's only one that's a bit like that. There's only one person that I've ever come across that's a little bit like that.
Right. Oh,
can he draw?
Do tell. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I'm allowed to say anything because it'd be, well, I suppose if I'm honest, then they say don't meet your heroes. He is one of my heroes and he was very, very pleasant. But Todd McFarlane definitely blows smoke up his own ass.
Okay. Yeah.
In the nicest way possible. He's lovely, but he does think he's the bee's knees and he's the
do you think though, like he's almost got like a pass to do that?
Yes,
because
of course,
you know what I mean. It's like, you know,
Rob Liefeld's a bit the same.
There's almost like those guys are almost like at a different level, you know. It's
they're like pop stars, aren't they? They're like the other pop stars of the comic industry, you know.
Yeah,
the exactly. Guys really for a while.
Yeah. So cool. So that's my pick, and then we went on to series of the year. Oh, look at that! Look, that's a segue. So obviously,
that's a segue.
This was this, but if you lot don't know me by now, I've got a penchant for Harley Quinn and also Alice in Wonderland. And for me, the series of the year, there's been loads out there, but compared to what you guys have picked, I've gone straight with Alice Never After. And I loved it. Like, honestly, I just love the whole world of Alice in Wonderland. Love the whole ethos and everything of it.
Andy called it.
Andy fucking
From
called
issue
it.
1.
And I tell you what, I read issue number 4. I've read it twice now, and I'm thinking, how the fuck has he called it? And every single time I read it, I'm like, no, he's still got it right. No, he's still got it right. And even when we had Dan on the show, he didn't say yes and he didn't say no from when you suggested it. And I tell you what, this for me, I just love this. I can't get enough of it.
Do you remember the reason why I had picked up on it when we had Dan on the show? Yeah. And it was because at that particular page in those panels where she was talking about being sick, there was flowers on the bottom right-hand side, and inside the flowers, they had babies' heads.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what sort of made me think, maybe this is the reason why. But you could tell straight away as soon as I'd mentioned it. But
regarding that, I do have some news that I will share with you offline in regarding to that page that you are talking about. But that's enough of that. So this is my series of the year, Alice Never After. Fantastic.
Don't just leave us in suspense.
Leave us hanging, man.
No, I won't leave you in suspense. I'll leave you in suspenders. There we go. Moving on. There we go. Ah.
Yeah, just been talking about this, haven't we? This is something epic. Again, for me, you know me, I love my superhero comics. I love my battling. I love my Transformers. Could have been an easy one for this and all the rest of it. But I also love comics that really make us think and hit us in the feels. And this comic absolutely did that. It was like each issue was like a gut punch. You know, there's no denying you've got to sit and dedicate time to this book because it is a heavy read. There's a lot of text in it. But I just loved it. I loved everything about it. And look at that artwork, man. The cat and the Dracula kind of thing looking, and yeah. And I just think, again, for a creator that kind of came out of nowhere for me, this was top tier stuff. Do you know what I mean? This was at the very top level, I think, of comics this year. So yeah, loved it. Cannot wait for this to come out in some kind of large scale hardback book with blown up artwork. You know, like an absolute format kind of thing would really do this justice, I think.
Absolutely.
Do you know what? The more and more I read this, the more and more I wanted to get into it, and the more and more I had to. Like, there's only a few comics that I kind of read, and then when the new one comes out, I'll go back and read the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. This for me, like, I was drawn in straight away because of the actual covers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
the covers are stunning. They're all
and
really amazing.
There's like a David Bowie type of essence. You know what I'm talking about, Pete? Like, do you know what I mean? And it's just like the way that he's done that, and the fact that he's drawn that, like, is sensational. Like, and how, like, I think, it was quite well known that I picked a Warren Lowe Catwoman cover where she was kind of leaning up against a brick wall, and it looked ultra realistic. But in this, it looks ultra realistic, but you know full well
Look
that
at this photograph.
Yeah, but you know that it's been drawn. You know that it's been drawn. There's no like photoshopping and stuff like that. Simon Krasronsky has been sensational this year. Sensational. So yeah,
it's just like the old the original Star Wars and Indiana Jones epic style posters they used to do back in the day.
Yeah, this got me back into buying variant covers again, I'm afraid. I promised I wouldn't get into them.
Don't do it, mate.
I bought a load of these.
It's a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I know.
Excuse the pun for Alice in Wonderland.
Yes. And so what else did we go for anything else on this? Oh yeah, I think we did. Yeah, so we went for there we go. Thomas, look at this.
Really?
Write down a little plot.
So my series of the year is The Plot Holes. I thought it was very well written by Sean Murphy, and I just love the concept behind it. Of, these characters saving books or kind of deciding whether or not these books are killed off or whatever. I thought it was really well written. It was one of those books where it's not the greatest book this year. I wouldn't say, like, around all the books that Charlie and Peter have picked, I would say are far better books. But for me personally, this book was the easiest read. I really enjoyed it. And it's the only comic book, apart from Transformers, that I bought every single issue of this year. So for me, that's my series of the year. If it gets me that involved, where I end up buying the comic books and keeping them on my shelf and not selling them on, then it's a good enough for me. And I just thought it was a really cool concept. Really cool concept.
Tom, it's a while since I filled out the survey thing you sent out, and I'm trying to think why have both of us not picked Transformers for this.
Well, that's because it's not my series of the year. It's the next one.
Oh, okay, right.
I like this, and I don't think I remember a story of this containing these elements of like where the actual comic book characters of a comic book are jumping through different comic books,
Yes,
trying to save the plot holes. But this came out in 2021 or 2022?
I think the facsimile came out, or facsimile, the Ashcan came out in 2020, and then Sean Murphy's finished off the story. But I'll agree with Fuzzy because it teeters off in towards the middle of the book, but apparently it comes back up. I think that's where they lost it on after the Ashcan. I think it kind of dipped off a little bit, but the first few issues are incredible, and I just think it's a really good series all round.
Not read it yet. I've picked up some of the variant covers, but I've not read it yet. I need to get into it.
It's only 5 issues.
It's only 5, but it's great though. It's honestly great though. And then obviously off the back of that, we go to our anticipated books for 2024.
So sorry, my favourite book of 2023 was Book of Evil
Series,
Book of Evil, which you can get in
yes,
or whatever it is now.
Yeah, it's good.
But also issue 1 of Swan Songs.
Swan Songs is a good. I nearly picked Swan Songs because I really enjoyed them.
Have you continued reading that, Andy?
Yeah.
It has been great.
Really good.
Yeah, it has been good.
To be fair, actually, honorary writer of the year, Maxwell Prince. He's incredible.
Yeah,
I never thought I'd say that because I didn't like Ha Ha and I couldn't get into Ice Cream Man, but I think he's a really good writer.
Love Ice Cream Man.
Yeah,
I love Ice Cream too, man.
The anticipated books for 2024. So I think if Pete hadn't have messaged and said read the first 2 issues of Beneath the Trees, I wouldn't have known anything about it. It's awesome. Honestly, it's awesome. You mentioned it on your show last night, Pete, with Efran.
Yeah,
this is such a great comic, totally left field, totally went under my radar. Didn't have a clue about it. IDW Publishing, smashing it out of the park with this. If they was to put one book out in 2023 and they just dropped this, you've won in my eyes. It's awesome. It's, as you said, Animals of Farthingwood meets fucking hell, Patrick Bateman. Do you know what I mean? Dexter, and it really does. Dexter is awesome.
Dexter.
And I cannot wait for issue number 3, 4, and 5 to come out in 2024. I'm literally chomping at the bit. If people in the chat don't know about this yet, I don't want to give away spoilers, but it's awesome. It's a really, really good comic, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yep, couldn't agree more. This blew me away. It really did. This for me is the stray dogs of this kind of year. You know what I mean?
Yes,
total surprise. You read it in the first few pages, you think you know because of the art style. You think you know what you're getting into, and then all of a sudden it just goes tits up and it's mental. And it's just I loved it.
And then we've got Thundercats, which you two picked.
Thundercats. Oh, I can't wait, mate. I'm so excited. And that David Nakayama's done the artwork on the cover. It's just incredible.
Yeah, again, I've ordered ridiculous amounts of this issue number 1.
Yeah, me too, mate.
I missed Clayton Crane had a variant that he'd done 300 copies, and it was on his website or something on Sunday, and I missed that. So I'm going to try and grab a copy of that. This for me is exciting because it's a bit like Transformers. It's starting from scratch. So this is a retelling or a kind of a new jumping on point, as it were. I'm just praying it's good, because there's been some ropey Thundercat comics in the past.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm hoping this is decent.
It should be. I mean, you've got a good writer, and Dynamite aren't exactly shit publishers at the end of the day. There is speculation. I don't know for sure, but if you read Scott Young's most recent emails that's gone out, he does allude to a few 80s comics that he's doing covers for. And I don't know if that means more Transformer comics or a Thundercats comic, but that would be cool as shit to get a Thundercats Scotty Young.
That style would work really well for Transformers, actually, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, I'd love to read that. I think that's going to be good. So we've done that. Tom, what is the vote on the actual scores on the doors?
Are we not doing Book of the Year?
I haven't got Book of the Year. It didn't send that.
I thought we were doing overall Book of the Year, our favourite book of the whole year.
Well, we can do. We can do overall Book of the Year.
It's easy.
Okay, because I was going to say because both me and Peter picked Transformers. DWJ's Transformers was our pick of the year.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Tom will be the same. The reason for me is, I'm a lifelong Transformers fan. I've been let down by quite a lot of the Transformers books, if I'm honest. I've never felt so much anticipation for a book, but then do you know that just relief when you read it? That shit, this is actually good. This is a great read, and I just loved every single panel, every word, every page, and I felt like a kid again. And that's exactly what I want from a comic at times. You know, I felt like I was giddy. You know, so I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
That was my exact same reason why I picked it as my comic book of the year, and not just because DWJ wrote it, but like you said, I just got this massive nostalgic feels for it. Transformers has fell off the waistline for me over the last few years. It's not been very good. So to bring it back with such a bang and with one of my favorite writers and artists on top of that.
What was that one comic you picked? The Transformers one?
The two, actually, Grimlock and Rage of the Wreckers were both shite. Both shite. But which is a real shame because the other books that came before it were really good. I mean, if you go back and read More Than Meets the Eye or you read Robots in the Skies, they were both really, really good books. But DWJ has done such a great thing with only 3 issues in. It's a huge nostalgia. And, you could have done anything with Transformers and I'd have read it, but it was just incredible from start to finish.
Also give an honourable mention, if I may, for surprise of the year, which was Void Rivals #1, and just that turning of the page and seeing, seeing the Transformer, just thinking, shit, what the feck's going on here? I loved it. Yeah, superb.
So, on the back of that, Tom, what are the scores on the doors
scores on the doors are in joint second place is both me, Charlie, and Peter, because everybody's voted for Andy with 51% of the votes. With no cover.
How very dare you?
But Andy's
brought his bots with him tonight, people.
But this is the scores on the doors. Tom, you actually ran away with it this year. I don't know. I'm not sure because I changed it to Peter. I'm not sure who won, so we might have to go back and look and see who won. But there is an overall winner. I didn't even take part this year. I'll let you guys have it.
I mean, it's the same for me last year, though. I mean, this year I obviously picked up my game. I'm sure it'll be different next year. But yeah, thank you for everyone who voted for any of us and any of the covers, and thank you for everyone that comes here every single week to do the Killer Comic Show with us. It means a hell of a lot. We wouldn't do it without you. So huge thanks and Merry Christmas to you all, and I hope you all have an absolutely beautiful New Year. And it is beautiful that you come and join us.
We're not finished yet. We've got
no, I'm just saying. I'm just having a bit of a moment.
We've got pickups.
Oh my God! Oh, I've just realised that's why Andy's here.
Yes.
Andy's just come to do the pickups.
I'm just going to.
No, don't do that, please. I've got 3 months worth of pickups, boys and girls. So sit back.
That's fine.
No, put me back. All right.
Do you know what? I was just having a quick look through the branding to see if I could find his old video clip so we could just play his intro.
I can't find it. I was trying to do that earlier. I couldn't find it. But have we got any pickups? I've got quite a lot to get through. So Andy, do you want to go first, considering you're like the Ghost of Christmas Past?
I'll walk the Ghost of Christmas Past. Future, and you guys will be present. Yeah. I'm going to start with some Lego. Sorry, Peter.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but I picked this up.
Yes.
It's Transformers, Pete. You got to let him go on this one.
I've got that one. I've still got
I know
the
you have.
scars.
You fucking hated it.
I hated it.
I've also ordered a display case for this as well, which is
yes, mate. I've got one on order.
Peter would say.
Where'd you get yours from?
Amazon. Yeah,
just Amazon.
It was a really good price on Amazon. So what I've been doing is selling a lot of my older
kids.
Kids, yeah.
Kids. You only need one, really.
Exactly. So yeah, I've been consolidating some of the other sets and getting these ones, but I don't think I put this on Instagram. But I got this as well.
Stunning.
It looks like you. Those are the words you said to me at Talk Bubble.
Yes, and you understood them. That was the thing. But yeah, so yeah, I picked up a couple of Lego sets there, which I'm looking forward to building after Christmas. It's normally a Boxing Day thing for our family to do that sort of thing. I picked this up. So
nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, this is the Bird City Comics variant jock cover for Gone.
Nice.
So I had to pick that up. Unfortunately, when I got it, you're meant to get like a foil trading card, which acted as your sort of authenticity certificate.
Right.
It wasn't there, and I also ordered 2, and they only sent 1. So try to sort that out with them, but I'm sure they'll get that sorted.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll sort that out for you.
Speaking of nostalgia, guys, a little bit of Street Fighter action.
Oh, nice.
Malibu Comics.
Malibu, yeah.
Yeah, Malibu Comics, but I picked up the gold foil cover as well.
Nice.
So limited to 18,000 copies. Only limited to 18,000.
On Street Fighter, did you know how Ryu greets Ken?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, don't Ken.
Dear Lord.
That's a good joke. We've got to end on
That is a good joke. That is a
How
good
do
joke.
Ken? Everybody. So Jurassic Park issue number 1 from Tops.
Nice.
Managed to pick this up for a couple of quid. I was really surprised. In fairly good condition as well.
Was that one in a poly bag, Andy?
It was originally in a poly bag, yeah.
I came in a poly bag.
Wow.
I'll leave you with that.
Pinky in the Brain. Come on, guys. What? That's
I love Pinky in the Brain.
No.
So,
you love what? Pinky in the what?
I love a good Pinky, yeah.
It's a nickname I've got for Charlie and Tom. Pinky in the Brain.
Which one's the brain?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. We'll discuss that later. We've got Darth Maul issue number 1 variant cover. I just love a bit of Darth Maul.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Did you get the JTC one?
I have it in order. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Some Jenny Frussen. So I've been trying to pick up the early Vampirella covers that she's done. Now, these are really low print count and hard to come across. That's what they said. In good condition.
Your polybag.
Challenge accepted.
You've missed me. Jesus Christ. We've got Adventures of Mass.
That's a challenge. Yeah.
There we go. Dark
That's
Horse
next
Comics.
week's show after dark.
Oh, do you remember? Remember we done that episode, the After Dark?
Oh,
episode?
yes. Oh,
Wow.
I do remember.
Wow. We've got Freedom Fighters issue number 1 from DC Comics. Really good condition. We've got a little bit of Marvel Comics Presents issue number 72.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Nice.
I've got about 8 copies of that because it was going to be big a few years back, wasn't it? Is that the first? Yeah.
It's like the first when he gets his
he's
adamantium. Man Thing.
Oh, I love that one. Love that one.
Issue
It's hard to
number
come
1.
across as well.
Indeed.
I've managed. Yeah.
Wow. This is really downhill.
Thanks for
You
coming
like this
back,
one,
Andy.
Tom? I sent this to you in private chat. Danger Girl issue number 1 3D cover. But the cool thing about this is it came with the glasses.
I mean,
as well?
look at that cover. That's just filth, isn't it? That's just look at that, man.
That's definitely hard to come across.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't think it would be.
No, I don't think it
and some glasses
with your
in case you go
glasses on.
blind.
Yeah.
Just the glasses.
The guys, this is probably my pickup of the last few months. You'll remember I got the Punisher bear cover. Do you remember you bought it as well, Charlie?
Yeah.
So when I seen this, I couldn't resist it. So this is from a company called AP Comics. Issue number 1, 1991. This was released, and this is the Mighty Tiny Mouse Marines.
Oh,
Guys,
That's awesome.
feast your eyes on this beauty. It looks a little bit Stan Sakai, kind of. I'm getting those Kevin Eastman vibes from it.
I'm getting aliens. I'm getting colonial marines. You know
exactly. Yeah, 100%. But yeah,
I'm
as
getting
you say, I've got a
a
little bit of
Stan Sakai on that.
a little bit of penchant for this sort of thing.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, nice.
guys, that I obviously had a lot more. It's been 3 months, so I thought I'd show you just a little.
Right, guys, this is now the Christmas show for 2024. If you've just joined, Andy has just finished from.
If you're watching this on the rewind, this is actually video has been clipped by half an hour.
Has anyone else got any pickups? Pete?
Yeah, I've got a couple. I've showed this on Instagram, but I've only got 2. I got that. That's a Super 7 Mumra. You get Marmot with them. Look at that. 2 interchangeable heads. These Super 7 figures are absolutely stunning. I've got a lot of them now, so this is Fuzzy's fault. I bought the Cat Slayer, so that's coming next year. No idea where I'm putting it.
Hashtag Fuzzy's fault.
Yeah, hashtag Fuzzy's fault.
That's better than Andy's fault.
Yeah. Love this.
What did those retail for, Peter? If you don't
this was 65 or 75.
That's too bad.
It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. No.
Some of them are much more expensive, so I've just because I got too excited. You know what I'm like. I've
bought
a limited edition.
You thought bubble.
You can see it now.
Yeah, Jagger.
How excited you are.
Yeah. And he was 175, so he was a bit more pricey.
A bit
next
more
thing, next thing was a gift. This was a gift from someone who's on the screen tonight, my good friend Andy, which I wasn't expecting really, so thank you so much. And that is this sexy beast. So there's a story behind this. I tried to get one of these when they went live and was absolutely friggin' livid because I got through to the checkout and then it said that they don't, because it actually says because of Brexit, they wouldn't send it to us.
Yeah.
But Andy jumped on and got some from his Stackery account. Was it Andy or something you did? Yeah. So thank you so much, Andy. Really do appreciate this one, mate. It's stunning. Over the moon with it. Enjoy. And it's a stunning copy as well. It's very sexy. So yeah.
Very
Love
sexy.
it. Thank you.
Is that what you got?
I've got more, but I didn't want to go on and on. So I'll show some other stuff next
week. Yeah, because you don't want to get
sorry.
You don't want to get the piss taken out of you, Peter, do you? And you know,
Right, so because Tom's got something to show us, so I'm just going to jump in quickly. So I have got a few. I've got this is from my Slug Crusaders. You would have seen it over on the video that I did the other day. This is a Jenny. This is a Jenny Frisson 9.8 from
Andy. Who's the artist on that?
Who's the artist?
Jenny Frisson, I think it is.
Here we go. Jenny Frisson. I've got the Rub and Sniff.
Still my beating heart.
Variant cover, and I can confirm that just around here is a rub thing. You rub it and it does smell of mint candy cane,
Claus.
which is
Scampy. Yeah.
It actually smells
Scampy fries.
Actually smells of Rudolph. It smells of reindeer.
Nice.
It smells like Scampy.
I've got
Scampy fries you get in the pub.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm a pork scratching kind of guy, to be fair.
Of course you are. Or jelly deals, probably, is it?
Which is fingernails.
A little bit of casual racism going on here, guys. Calm it down.
And cockles as well.
I bet you do. Yeah.
Yes.
Love a mouthful of cockle. Yeah.
Gobble.
Especially at Christmas.
We've got some John Boy Mayers. There we go. And I know this one. This was. Look at this.
That's the Campbell cover.
Jay's got Campbell cover of that.
Did you get one, Tom? I remember you were looking for.
Did you not send me one?
I might have. I can't remember. That's why I was asking.
I've got one. I don't know where I got it from though. I'm pretty
sure.
As long
as you have one, that's
yeah. Cool. I thought you sent it me.
I think you did. I think on the show
you sent me a lot of things. To be fair,
I think you did. And then we've got some Harley Quinn.
Nice.
Marco and Dolpho cover. We've got the lovely cover there.
He's showing off his penchants now.
Yeah. We've got a Warren Lowe photorealistic additional cover there. And then it's just this one as well, which was the Soda Mafia.
Oh, yeah, that's my favourite.
Yeah, it's a cool cover.
That one's
awesome cover, that. And then I got the Alice Ever After, like the whole collection, 1 to 5 there. Got this one, another Jenny Frisson. Another Jenny Frisson there. And then this one, obviously with Slab Crusaders, you can either buy at guaranteed at a 9.8 or if they come back in a 9.6, but I just weren't going to turn this down. This is the result.
That's nice. Yeah.
It's a 9.6, but it's a fantastic cover. And when I went on to the CGC grading and there's no notes for it. There's no notes for why it was given as a 9.6, which is unfortunate. And then yesterday I went out and I picked up this. Andy, you might have read this, right? But this is Norman, right?
Oh yeah, it's a great series.
Right. So they're going for like $10.99 each on Amazon, right? I picked them up. I picked this one up for 99p from Forbidden Planet, and the other two were, I think this one was 99p and one was 1.99. Basically, I got 3 books for £5, and Norman is a naughty little bastard. He basically says, "I'm 8 years old and I kill people."
Yeah.
It is awesome, and the art in it, I've got to show you. The art in it is.
Who's the Scotty Young character that goes crazy that you love, Charlie? And she kills everybody.
I hate Fairyland.
Gertrude. Yes,
it's that's the original of that. It's worse. It's
yes.
better.
Oh, awesome.
It is wicked. But then, obviously, I'm looking forward to reading that. But I have to give him. He's going to get embarrassed now because he's on the screen. But Pete, I fucking love you, man. Like there is so much love in this world, and I want to give the majority of it to you for sending me this. Right. I tell you what, I didn't expect it. I didn't expect nothing, right? But you sent me my first ever 6th scale Harley Quinn figure, right? And I tell you what, you bastard, you've sent me now on a slippery slope, right? Because it's just, they're sensational. This is the first ever 6th scale figure I've ever held, I've ever seen, ever manipulated. But
with your poncho.
With my poncho, but I can't thank you enough. I can't show you how much appreciation. We'll have to wait.
Oh, you could.
I could.
Definitely could.
But it's it's been fantastic. I don't think my wife Michelle is very happy that I've been sharing a bed with this since it arrived last week. But it's awesome. These things are incredible. So I'm sending you massive Christmas miracle wishes and love straight to you. So thank you very much.
Thank you. No problem at all. Glad you like it.
I do. But they're my pickups. Tom, over to you.
So I was talking about the series that I liked the most this year. So I've got all the 1 in 10s of plot holes. So I got issue 4 in the post, which I'm really pleased with.
Nice.
I really like these black and white covers. I think they're absolutely stunning. So I've got all the 1 in 10s. I've got issue 5 on its way. But yeah, I love them. I think they're great series, and I'm looking forward to rereading them in bed over Christmas. And then I also got a gift from the man on the screen from old Triple G. I got a copy of The Weeping Blade, which I'm really very much looking forward to reading. Very, very interested in reading that. I know that you've got quite a few and you really rate it. And then the second thing I got, now I do already have one, but mine is fucked because of just years of reading it. So I must say a huge thank you to you for this, because I know how much it is worth in good condition. So Peter sent me the first issue of Transformers, the Marvel edition. And I'm really, really pleased because mine's tatty, so I can reread it. I'm sending this bad boy off straight to CGC as like a personal collection to keep forever. Also, I know that there is a possibility that Frank Welker and possible Peter Cullen will be at TFCon next year. If I get a go, I'll be taking this and get it signed.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that, mate. Like, it's nice to have a second version, but it's nice to have a almost mint version. I know there's a couple of dinks in it, so I don't care, but it's a much better version than what I've got. So, thank you ever so much, mate. Really appreciate that. It's very rare for me to get gifts in the post from people. I don't normally get AOKs. I've got a couple from Andy, and this is really kind of you to send that to me, Mike.
No problem.
Especially because I know the value of it. So, yeah, really appreciate that, mate. Thank you. It's really made my Christmas. Thanks, bud.
Lots of love on screen tonight, isn't it? It's nice.
Yeah, man.
There is, and it's not easy to come across.
I think there is a lot to be said for the generosity, I see it within that community word.
Yeah.
But I think in particular, having saw the 2 gifts that you guys have received, I had mine up my shelf. But a few weeks ago, Peter actually had sent me an AOK. And I had been chatting to Peter and told him about, back in the day, whenever you all your figures that you had when you were younger, And I know that, the great move of, 2000 when everything got lost, and I had things at my granddad and stuff like that. And I always remember in Glasgow when I was probably 7 years of age, my granddad took me into Glasgow city centre and says, look, it's coming up for Christmas, just pick a toy. I was like, okay, cool. And we went into, I think it was Woolworths or something like that at the time.
Oh, Woolworths.
And good old Woolworths. Pick a mix, man.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. I was like, can I not have a pick and mix, please, Granddad? And he's like, no, smacked me in the back of the head. He says, pick a toy. So I was telling them about my love of Centurions, and in particular the green figure. Now, this guy sent me this.
Tom Selleck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what Kira said. My missus. He sent me this, and I had no idea, first and foremost, that he was sending it. And when he opened up the box, when I opened up the box, I just kind of started crying because it was a wave of like memories and emotions and stuff like that. And Peter, I've already told you how much I think of you as a person without you sending things like this, but this really hit me really, and I was speechless, and it's not like me to be speechless. So I just wanted to show this off to everybody. And to say another thank you for sending me this. This is the most important thing that I have in my collection.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool, and to have all the parts too, mate. That's incredible.
Yeah. Can I just say that I noticed that when I started doing mine, Pete flicked record, so he's using this as content. And this is his new video that's going out tomorrow.
Yeah. Tonight, not waiting until tomorrow. Tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I've
Screenshot.
From now on, I'm renaming Triple G. Instead of the Ginger Geordie Geek, he's going to be the Great Generous Guy. In my eyes, it's going to be the Triple Great Generous Guy. That's what the G stand for. Because, Pete, I tell you what, you really are YouTube royalty. You're fantastic. You're a lovely guy. Your shot choice is a bit dodgy.
Can't beat the banana shot.
I tell you, the G has got nothing to do with generous. It's all about genuine, and that's the most important thing.
Shut up, man. You're making us.
I would say, mate, you're genuinely the biggest rare breed I've ever met in my life, and that's a good thing because you are a rare breed, mate. They don't make people like you. In that case of like the generosity you show, the kindness you show,
they broke the mold for you, Pete.
They did, and the fact that, in all fairness, mate, you've had a rough time of bits and bobs, but you just took it on the chin, and you've still got a smile on your face, which just says you're one of the good ones, Pete. To be fair,
you are.
Thank you. Let's move. Thank you. I appreciate that, but let's move on.
Don't stop crying.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
You just need a big white beard.
I reckon that's Pete. There he is. Look, he's there. He's there. Look, there he is. That is Pete. But that is.
I wonder what Pete's breath smells like.
Goodness.
Now it's Peter's turn to say nice things about all of us.
Yeah.
And
that should take a minute or two.
No, but honestly, it's been a fantastic show. It's been a fantastic year. It's just been great. Like the Killer Comic Show keeps growing and growing and growing. A bit like when you take a Viagra tablet, it keeps growing. It's never going to stop.
Like your penchants for Harley
Quinn.
My
penchants for Harley Quinn, Peter. I've got penchants for Tom, Andy, and Triple G at the moment. So, but it's been fantastic, and it's been great. And as Dr. Von Hoot said, he's English. He can't take compliments. There we go. And he's but it's been amazing. It's been another fantastic year. And
it's been one hell of a year, man. And I just got to, before you say too much more, Charlie, I just want to thank you for the show itself. It's a Thursday night. I mean, me and Andy have said it before. Like, we come here we used to come here every Thursday, the two of us, to spend time with friends and share our love for comic books. Then Andy's gone on to do his own thing, and we've had Triple G join us now, and it's just an amazing thing that we do every Thursday night. And it's my social life. So thank you for still letting me be here, which is awesome. Thank you.
And I'm going to jump in and be gushing then as well. You guys know that I've followed you since I started on the YouTube thing, and you guys are one of the big things that kind of encouraged me to start doing my channel as well. Always entertaining, always loved you guys. And I have to say, people watching this will be vomiting, I'm sure, with all the niceness that we're doing tonight. But I have to say, meeting you at Thought Bubble was a bit of a kind of a light bulb moment for me, because I realised that there are genuine people out there who are actually nice and fun to people. Because you can put it on screen or whatever, but it was like a genuine. Actually, these are people that I would quite happily hang around with if they live near us. As Tom mentioned, I'm not going to go into it, but you know that I've had a bit of a shitty end to the year, and you guys welcoming us on the show has been a new lease of life. So thank you. And Andy, I love you. And why don't you come back? That would be great. 4 of us have got good chemistry, so that would be great.
Oh, God.
Yeah, this would be lovely. So, yeah,
well, if we get 50 thumbs up on this video and 20 subscribers by the end of the year.
You heard it here, folks. That's it. That's it. Do
Challenge
that.
Accepted. Challenge accepted.
How many honestly, can I make in the next 10 minutes?
Honestly, it has been fantastic, and this started as a little channel in 2018, and it's gone on to still be a little channel in 2023. So, you know what I mean? It's been good. It's been good
consistently.
But I tell you what, it's consistently small until you give it a rub, and then it grows into something that takes over. And that's what's going to happen in 2024. We've got some big things coming. We've got some good things coming, and it's going to be enjoyable for every single one in the chat, and hopefully every single one on the screen. Peter's coming, yeah, and that's a massive load, and it's going to be good. It's going to be interesting. Pete's now going to go live because he's got another 6 videos coming out between now and 6 a.m. But I wish every single one of you on screen, I wish every single person in the chat a very Merry Christmas. I hope Santa doesn't come too hard down your chimneys, and you are able to enjoy your festivities with your friends and families, enjoy the comic books that you're reading, and I don't know, maybe we will have a show next week. I don't know. We'll see. Here we go. Anyone else want to say anything?
Apart from thanking Andy for coming along tonight, that's been an amazing thing.
That was a fucking massive shot. For the first 5 minutes of the show, I'm kind of gobsmacked.
I do appreciate you having me back on. It's been most enjoyable.
We didn't know. So
I say you didn't have a choice.
We wouldn't have said yes if we'd known.
I was sending them messages today saying, "Oh, have a good show and stuff like that." And they're like, "Yeah, we'll see you in the chat." And I'm like, I just want to say thanks for having me back on, and thanks to all the chat again for being involved.
It's only taken 4 years. Shout
out to I just want to give a quick shout out to Tim from Hobgoblin, because I know that he's dealing with a few things at the moment. So much love from the Killer Comic Show to you, my friend. And I just want to wish everybody a happy Christmas. Make sure that 2024 is peaceful and a positive one. And cheers. And we'll see you all again on Saturday night on Pete's show, I assume.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And you've also got what, New Year's Day as well?
I'm doing New Year's Day with everyone. I've got a video coming out probably on Saturday. Sorry, just a plug. I'm going to see Aquaman tomorrow. So I'm going to do a review of Aquaman, but I've recorded a song today to go with it. It's a while since I've done a bit of a sing song.
I cannot wait for this. Return of the Mac was great. Is this better?
This one's going to make your eyes bleed. So nice. I'm not going to say more, but it's going to be an interesting one. Yeah. Interesting stroke humiliating. Not quite sure which.
That's all right. But I'm looking forward to it. But honestly, Tom, have you got anything else to add before we sign off?
Other than just to stay safe, stay geek, and to look after each other, and make sure in 2024 to make it your mission to make someone else's day better.
Yes. Fantastic. Every single one of you in the chat, every single one of you on screen, have a fantastic Christmas, and we shall see you. I don't know, we might see you next year. If not, we'll see you next year. See you later. Ta-da.